Hi guys, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery, and I'm located in Van.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Highland Heights, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk.
All right. Hello. We're live.
Hello, we're live. We're in the library again.
Library Voices.
I'm loving this library situation.
Hey, pretty solid. I mean, you're booking ahead of time, so it makes sure you show up, and
Yeah, I
it's
booked
probably
last.
comfortable in there.
Yeah, I do kind of wish they had a fan, but it's still really nice temperature. And I do wish they had cushions on their chairs, but beggars can't be choosers. It is a free situation.
You probably have a cushion. Can't you bring one with you?
I sure do. I
That'll be
sure
for next
do.
week. You can bring one next week.
Hmm.
Sorry,
It's
don't
just,
mind me. I bring my own
I'm
cushion.
just bringing my own cushion.
Maybe
Would
the
it be
kids
funny?
area has a little pillows or something around out
I
there.
know. I saw one guy rocking in a rocking chair, and I was like, God, you know what? People should go to the library more. Just go to the fucking library.
I mean, it's pretty chill in there, I feel like. That's a good spot to
Yeah.
be. It's not like going to a coffee shop where there's hustle and bustle and there's sounds and people, and,
You could take a nap in here and nobody would give a fuck.
yeah, they're not gonna be like, sir, you can't nap here. Sorry. You can sit there, be very chill and quiet, but you can't nap.
Mm-hmm. There's people over there doing puzzles.
Hell yeah.
I mean, like,
Do they have
what?
to clean it up by the end or can they
You
leave
know,
it out and come back
I
the
don't
next day?
know. I think they might be able to leave it out.
Maybe they're habitual puzzle
There's
put
like tables.
togetherers.
Yeah, there's like four tables set up specifically for puzzles.
Hell yeah. That's great.
This library is so kicking. It's like, it's
And
great.
then people can like pop in there and contribute a little bit, maybe work on it for 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So
Do you
fun.
mind if I join you in putting this puzzle together?
And I've noticed in the last few trips that I've been here that there are regulars. Like,
Oh yeah.
like the puzzle guy was here last time too. And yeah, so but they do have a lot of librarians. A lot. So
I feel like I would enjoy putting organizing and putting things back. I
I
feel like
would
that'd be
enjoy
that'd
that.
be
I was
fun.
actually thinking that. I was like, man, it would be kind of awesome to be a librarian. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Not like the top librarian person,
No.
but maybe like somebody that's just taking things in and returning and scanning in and out and Rachel's getting waved at.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly. Well, you have to have like a master's degree to go to be a top librarian, don't you?
Yeah. The library science, I think, or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. Like librarians are no joke. No
Yeah.
joke. Yeah. Anyway, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I got a lot of studio time in yesterday, so I was killing it with the oil bottles.
Did you try the ribs?
Did I try the ribs? I did not. No.
You bastard.
Well, I mean, it was only a pound and a half of clay. I can actually try them with my plate. I got to throw some plates, so it might make sense for me to try them with plates because it's a little more clay. I feel like a pound and a half is kind of that, like, and the clay was really soft. So,
Mm. Anyway, I apologize for calling you a bastard, and I will revert to you bitch because that feels better. Um, I don't
I'll
use the
take
word
it.
I don't use the word bastard very often. I don't know why I use that. I like
She was
what?
so offended by me not using them. I mean, jeez.
You got a lot of clay time in. Anything else happening? I mean, it's only been 2 days. Like,
I mean, nothing major. Oh, so there was news that I didn't share at the end of last episode,
oh,
and it felt like it was a bigger thing, so I didn't want to squeeze it in the last like 5 minutes.
is it something I know? Or are you pulling a fast one
I
on me?
think you might know about it. I mean, Rachel posted about it today, but we finally got our clay pottery gallery library thing installed out at the street.
Yay! I haven't seen the picture. I will go look. That's exciting.
So it was out there about a full week ago. So we've had some people come through, and for people that don't know, it's basically like the little libraries that you see that people have at their neighborhoods and things that are made, and people leave their book and take their book. And so we built it with the intention of just putting pottery in there that is either old pottery that I made or from our collection that we're trying to find new homes. Maybe it's seconds quality pieces. Erica was talking about maybe putting some of her old pieces in there. It's kind of a way to just share pottery with people for free with no expectation of, hey, come pay what you want kind of thing. It's just a way to share pottery.
Oh my God, Josh holding that.
Well,
He's
that's
so
before it's painted. So we haven't publicly shared what it looks like finished unless you
Will you
go to
text
the
me?
account. Can
Which
you go?
account?
So there's a new account that we made for Instagram. It's called Art Bus on Hope.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm going to the account. I'm
There's
gonna
only one photo on there, but
I'm gonna follow. It's so cute. Oh my God. I mean, there's no big photo of it.
yeah, I'm gonna send you some photos so you can kind of look at it.
Okay, thanks.
But yeah, it happened. We got here I'm texting them to you. So yeah, it's been out there for about a week. We got our first thank you note. Somebody left a thank you note in there for us this morning.
Oh,
Rachel
oh
went
my
out to
God, the
restock it, and
fucking surfboard. Are you kidding me?
well, we also
It's
realized
so
that
cute.
hot glue doesn't exactly stand up to a bunch of rain. So we had to strip the roof rack off for now until we redo that. I mean, I
Oh
didn't have a
yeah.
feeling that hot glue was going to work, but Rachel insisted on building it with hot glue and some
Maybe
nails and
wood
things.
glue might be better. Yeah.
So I think we're probably gonna maybe nail it together or E6000 or wood glue. Yeah, something
Wood
a
glue
little
would
more
be
heavy
better than
duty
E6000, I think, for this particular situation.
because it's got to hold up to weather
Mm-hmm.
and sun. So,
Oh,
yeah.
it's so
So it
cute.
came out really good. We got our first thank you note, and I was like, Rachel, why don't we, we're gonna like announce that we've got stuff in there, but I feel like it's got a presence enough that we should probably like create an account for it so people can come look for it and they can find it and they can,
Yeah.
we can share, hey, we just added new stuff in there. Here's what's in
Yeah.
there, and here's the date, and we just got a thank you note. We appreciate y'all coming by or whatever.
Yeah, it's so cute. And you should see, I mean, like, there should be a little spot, or maybe like a little corner for like if they wanted to leave a trinket. It doesn't
Oh
have to
yeah,
be pottery,
I mean,
you
usually
know?
it's not completely full, so there's
Yeah.
some space in there.
Yeah.
People can leave some things. We haven't had anybody leave anything yet, but I have a feeling long term it'll probably be, there'll be Clay Alliance members that'll say, "Hey, I've got this old stuff. Like, I know you've got this gallery that you do. I don't know
Yeah.
if you need pieces to put in there, but like,
And if it
I'd
gets
love it
too
for people to
big,
come bring it to me and just put stuff in there
if it
for
gets
other
too big for
people."
its britches, you could create a trailer to go in the back of it.
Mm.
You could have
A
a
little
trailer.
Airstream.
Yes,
We've got
yes.
so people it's a VW bus. It looks like a VW bus. So like the orange trim bus. So it's kind of cool because you pull down the street and as soon as you kind of get past the fork, you can see it in the distance at the end of the street because we're at the end of kind of a no outlet street. So yeah, that'd be fun. It doesn't hold as much well, vertically it's a little tough with the two shelves of like how much space it can how many things it can hold. But I don't think it
Mm-hmm.
should be so overfilled that, it feels junky.
Yeah. P.S. I forgot to tell you, but I have 43% on my battery, and I thought I had my charging block, but I don't, and their fucking USB-C cord doesn't work. So I like
Turn
it's
your
just
turn your screen color all the
down.
way down, your brightness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Done. Um,
But yeah, it's working. So it's fun. I gotta make a reel for Instagram and share it and show people what it's about. But
that is so fucking fun.
yeah, so I think
Um,
it's been I'm gonna say like a year in the making. I don't know
It's
when
been a
we
while.
probably
Yeah.
something like that. But officially got it hooked up right before the tiki party. That was one of the things on the list to get done, and we got it done. So
Proud of
that's
you.
yeah, that was the big no big news.
That is exciting news.
Hopefully you can find a USB-C. That would suck. I know some of them don't charge if you don't have enough power. Like I
It
sometimes
doesn't,
charge my laptop from my Mac, but it's very low power. It won't charge it.
well, it was 70% when I got here. I should have just run down and gotten it. There's a block in my car, but it just wasn't in the bag and I didn't realize it. I think it'll be fine. We've done a recording on less. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, that's great. I'm excited to see it in person eventually.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, what's new with you? What's going on in the last 2 days?
Well, Tammy, I went to a friend's house and took Tammy because I need to get him used to car drives, right? So,
Tammy is the new cat for people that didn't
Tammy's the new
listen to the
cat.
last episode.
His name is Tammy. And he did really good in the car. And then in a house, he is a fucking maniac. Oh my God. He finally figured out how to like climb onto the couch, and it was just like everything.
A
And
cloth couch, I hope, not a leather couch or
yeah, yeah. I mean, like, yeah, he didn't mess up the couch, but yeah, finally, like when I was about to leave, he was like, "Okay, I'll sit." He also, like, we were making dinner, so we went to get groceries, came back, couldn't find him. We knew he didn't go outside, but couldn't find him. And I heard his little bell. He climbed into my friend's box spring in their bed.
oh. Oh, underneath the bed. Inside the
Yeah,
box spring though? How did he
inside the
get
box. I'm pretty
inside the box
sure,
spring?
there must have been a hole. I'm pretty sure it was inside the
Oh,
box
actually,
spring.
I mean, I guess that's how ours, yeah, our cats rip through. It's not really a traditional box
Yeah,
spring. It's more just a shell, a
yeah.
metal shell.
He is a fucking goblin. Anyway, and everybody's going to want to know about Dottie and him. Dottie's not warming up really well, but better than what Lloyd would ever. So, but that's not hard to beat. Uh, and Tammy is so excited about about Dottie. Like, I let him out into the grass, and he just like followed her until like the fifth hiss, and then he was like, "Fine." Um, and then the second thing is that I actually got to use the ribs today, the centering ribs, the magic centering ribs. And so I'll talk about that more when we do our Adeladdy, our Addy. But
Hmm.
I came into work today and they said, "Hey, guess what? You're gonna do a demo and teach some children, two kids." And I was like,
At
"Okay."
least it was a couple. When you said children, I was thinking a class of 9 kids or something.
No, it was just two kids. And they were relatives of one of the employees there. So it was good. They were good kids. They were really excited. And I looked up at the dad after the 9-year-old, like, started throwing his pot. And I said, "You need to get him a wheel, like, now." And what's so funny is that I love kids and also kids bug me at the same time. But this one was great. He goes, "Well, I watch a lot of pottery videos, so I think I know how to throw a pot." And I was like, "Okay, brother, go
All
for
right.
it." And
Yeah.
then he
Let's
messed
see what
up
you got.
immediately. Yeah, and then he messed up immediately, and I was like, "All right, would you like to actually listen now?" And he was like, "Yeah." And also what was really funny is that like at the beginning he's like, "I don't want to use any tools. I don't need to use any tools." And like a kid does. And I was like, "Well, you use tools all the time."
All right. Hey, folks, we're taking a break from the episode to talk about a brand new sponsor we just got. Cue the Pew pew pew
Pew, 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 pew,
pew.
pew.
We got a new sponsor. You're going to be hearing about them for the rest of the year. And Becca, do you want to announce who it is?
It is Sula.
Sula. So
Sula.
Andy's been a great partner. He's the founder of Sula, and then Krista works with us as well. But we've been we've been supporters and partners with them for a bit, just here and there. It's like I don't work in a community studio, but like I still like the bags, and then the apparel's cool. And seeing them at Ensika, they've been killing it over there. So very excited.
Yeah, I have three Sula bags. One of them I bought and two of them were gifted to me. And I bought the one in between the other ones. Like
Hmm.
that's how much I like them.
Yeah,
I have them everywhere.
and they had a great announcement and like reveal of the bag collabs that they did at Ensika this past year, which was really sweet. So
Yeah.
I really love how they're, partnering with a lot of different artists and getting the community involved and, making it personalized. And, you think that they're done with like colors and then they're like, all right, we just added more. So,
Yeah, and what's really cool is Andy is actually a potter himself, so that's pretty awesome to have a potter owned company.
designed by potters for potters.
Hell
And I
yeah.
feel like that could be broad. It could be designed by potters for ceramic art. Like it could be for ceramic artists. Like it doesn't have to be a potter, but people kind of go in there, interchange that word a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So if folks don't know about their primary products, it's the bags that you would use. It's like a studio bag. It's kind of somebody said this is the Birkin bag for pottery and crafting. Do you know what a Birkin bag? I've never heard that, but apparently that was a quote.
Um,
Birkin bag. I guess it's like a
I
tool
think
bag.
a Birkin bag is like a really fancy purse.
Oh, it is a Birkin bag, handbag. Oh, that is fancy.
Yeah,
Hermes Birkin bag. Okay. Never
I
heard of
think
that.
it's like the slightly cheaper Louis Vuitton, but like
Oh.
I feel like they're known for being big. I'm not positive, but I feel like that's
They do look pretty big in these photos that I'm
yeah,
seeing.
like big
But
and roomy maybe. I don't know. I'm not a purse person. I do
yeah.
have a fish purse, but anyway, they're amazing. They have 30 pockets and they have dedicated like pockets for like trimming and carving tools, which is amazing, and like pockets for your ribs and your sponges, and they fit like perfectly. And it's
Hmm.
awesome. You can fit
Yeah.
so much shit in there. You can even put your square bats in there. And
Yep.
God, I've put my rock tumbler in mine. I have all of my nails stuff in one of mine, like
Hmm.
for my fingernails. I have them for
Yeah.
everything.
Very versatile. I've seen some people take them around like a purse or like for a
Mhm.
show bag. I feel like it would be good to have show stuff if you go to art shows and you need your little toolkit with, things that you need for your booth, like maybe zip ties or scissors or, all these different random doodads that you need to make sure you don't forget when you're in a pinch at an art show or something. So I
Yeah.
definitely could see myself using it for that.
Yeah, and like to top it all off, if it wasn't great enough, it's machine washable. So, what? You can just throw it in the machine when it gets clay all over it or whatever. I'm also currently realizing that I need one for work. So yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So we are going to get a special Wheel Talk discount code. We do not have it because this is fresh off the press. We just signed the contract like today. So you all are hearing about it first. We're going to get you a special code. It's going to be down in the description. So if you're looking for it, it's exclusive just for Wheel Talk folks. So, all those other codes that you might see out there, this is going to be a little bit better to get directly from Sula. And then, yeah, save some money. Use the link down in the description to go to the site, use the codes. We don't know exactly what the percentage is right now because it's so new, but we will share that with you all as we keep going in the year. And Becca, where do they go? Do you know the website?
HeySula.com.
Sula.com.
Oh, it's Sula.com.
We need to figure out. You got the double O's and the double L in there, so SOOLLA dot co. So
Not it's just a co.
there's no in there.
There's no it's just co. I'm like, I was gazing off because I was trying to think of a jingle.
I feel like you got to go with the double, like S double L
No,
double O
that's just
double
like
L.
Speedball. We can't do that. It's like, it's the bag for everybody's needs. Sula, Sula. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
All right. Well, folks, enjoy the Sula bags. Thanks for joining us,
Yeah.
Sula. We look forward to the year ahead and back to the episode.
Hooray! And other things. And then
Oh,
by the end of it, he was like, "Can I use those ribs?" I was like, "Yeah, you can." Yeah.
you know what? Your hands are tools. The
Yep.
wheel is a tool. So if you're not doing any tools, I don't know what you're gonna be doing here today.
I know. He was, yeah, but it was a good learning experience for both of them. And we got big hugs on the way out, and they were cute. So that's what's happened with me. I was exhausted afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm
More
still
exhausted
exhausted.
today than Monday. Monday, you seem like you were pretty exhausted too, but
Yeah,
equally.
definitely more today than Monday. Yeah. Well, my biggest fault, it was my own fault. This is what happened, is that yesterday I wanted to hit 100% on what I was doing. I'm making Barons for work right now. And I wanted to hit 100% rate, which is 50 an hour, which is nearly impossible, we're finding. And when it is done the next day, you feel like fucking garbage because it's not really sustainable. Um,
Yeah, I mean, that's quicker than a minute and a half per. Like, come on. Barely a minute per. That's so fast.
but I was like, I can fucking do it. I can do it. And so my whole goal for the past like month has been to hit rate on these Barons. And I hit 50%, or I hit 100% yesterday. Like, quite literally, and there was like all these things that happened at work that like distracted me too. And I had 398 done, and I thought it was 400, and then I had to like find the things to like get it to 400. I like did it right on the dot. And and then today I feel it. I feel it. And like, it goes to, and this is kind of why this is kind of like leading into the topic of today. It goes to show you like how important using the tools in your body efficiently and effectively is, and like how it's not about going as fast as you can, it's about working as like
Efficiently and smart.
consistently.
Hmm.
Yeah, and consistently. Like, when I was working at Gravescoat, yeah, I could have thrown 150, 200 pots a day, but we found out, we kind of all decided that 100 pots a day was right at where your body was fine,
Right.
you
That
know?
you can actually sustain that 100 pots 7 day or 5 days a week or
5 days a
whatever it
week.
is.
Exactly. And so I think that, and like, it all comes, like, just like we were talking about when we did that burnout episode, it all comes down to like having a consistent schedule that's sustainable, that you can actually like follow through on,
Hmm.
that you won't eventually burn out on it. And yeah, so I did 100% and I was like, I'm so fucking tired. I think today I did 80%.
So what do you do though? Do you have flexibility to go back and say, "Hey, this is not doable on a daily basis. Can we change the percentage or
I've been like kind of chatting about it with him, but
this is
I
what needs
think
to
they
change to
just
get to that percentage?"
I think they just changed it recently, and it's like a weird situation, but yeah, definitely like there's a lot of things that, will do something and rate is like way above what can be hit, you know? And
Because that impacts your, I don't know, maybe bonus or maybe pay or
yeah.
like your
Hmm.
your reviews
like
or something of
reviews and
like
stuff like
how
yeah.
good
Yeah.
of how productive are you, and it makes it look like you're not as productive. But when the goal is not reasonable, then
Right. And I think that and like that's the whole thing is just like very um it ebbs and flows and stuff like that. And if there's something that's just like outlandish, I usually like they basically were like, tell us and we'll talk about it and we'll see if we need to change it and we'll time you. And so they're very open to that. So that's kind of cool. Because they want you to hit rate too, because it affects their bottom line. And also you have to think about it as a business perspective too. If you're never hitting rate, they're losing money because that rate is based on how much like that rate
that's how they determine how to price it and
how to
everything,
price
right?
it, like everything like that. So it matters. It matters a lot. I would say that I'm probably going to regret this in my future, but I would say that the only upper management position I would ever want would be to be like an efficiency rate QC person.
Hmm. I don't know if my brother still does it, but did like in inventory,
Mm,
like the computer side of inventory with production, because they were doing. He worked at
yeah,
Ragu for a period, and they did production of like pasta sauce, and they had
yeah,
to figure out like the cycles of production and which ones
yeah,
they're shipping and which ones they're not, and how many pallets and how much
yeah.
ingredients do they have and all, yeah, like all that stuff.
It's so cool. And like, yeah, and Teresa, who lives in Memphis, everybody should know that because I've done a lot of interviews in Memphis. But Teresa is a QC specialist at Unilever. So she's the quality control manager at Unilever. And I think that's so cool. So yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
cool stuff. Okay, we have an exciting topic today, and also um it might be a two-parter.
We'll have to see how deep we get into some of these areas as we get going. Because obviously we have
Yeah,
a stopping point because Becca's at the library and she has to
yeah.
get in bed at a reasonable time.
And food. Yes, exactly. So this was my idea, which doesn't happen very often,
Yeah.
because my brain is empty. Uh, I wanted to do we're gonna try and do a comprehensive list of what tools we use. I'm not talking about clay. I'm not talking about big tools, small tools.
We're not talking about like equipment or anything like that. We're
Yeah,
just the actual tools we use
yeah.
in
So
day-to-day activities.
yeah, and we're gonna try our darndest to put up a list with links. A lot of the links will be to the ceramic shop, and some of them will be to Amazon.
Amazon
So,
or specific sites that only sell them, you know.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
All right.
And all
Where do we
right, I
want to
guess we
start?
should.
We're not even doing a listener question today, and we
Yeah,
probably won't be doing a maker of the moment because there's just so much to cover.
yeah. And it might be a two-parter anyway, so,
Hmm.
you know,
And the way we're
yeah.
structuring this, are we starting from just wet clay making all the way to finishing? And that's kind
Yeah,
of how we're going to move through it.
I think we should do it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, for
All right.
sure.
So what do we start at? Where are we starting at the top? I,
Clay
s-
prep.
I see clay prep up here.
Yeah. And I'm searching up my orders because I have a really great digital scale that was cheap. Um, and I don't know what you use as a scale. I know a ton of people use
I just use
like
like it's just like a white digital scale. I think the max pounds is like 10 or 11 pounds or something.
okay.
It
I
goes
use it
to half pound, like 2 decimal points on pounds, I think. And it's got the
okay.
pounds, ounces, grams. It's got pounds for water. So if you do water, it can tell you how
Mm.
many ounces it is in liquid.
That is important if you want to do that. Mine doesn't do water because I stopped caring about that. But if you want something that's a little bit heavier, like you need to weigh like heavy things, I have the Accutech all-in-one 50-pound scale. It's a digital shipping postal scale, and it can have batteries, or it comes with a plug that like plugs into the
Oh,
back, I think. I've never used the plug, which I probably should because my batteries always die. But it's pretty solid, and it's been rocking hard since uh 2016.
that's when you got it? Jeez.
Yeah, yeah. So I feel like that holds its weight.
Yeah, so mine, I just, 10 to 12 pounds, I feel like that's pretty reasonable. And I just need to be able to move it around the studio. We use it for clay prep in the like wet studio, and then we also use it back in the glazing area when we're mixing raw materials for glazes. So I appreciate the mobility of a battery powered scale. Obviously,
Yeah,
sometimes it could be flaky with power usage and stuff, like keeping its
yeah,
battery, but that's mainly what I'm looking for. I
for sure.
like the a bit for the liquid side of it. I usually only use that if I'm doing measuring things after they're finished. Like when I want to put them on the online shop, I'll use it for that just to get an idea rather than pouring it into a cup with ounces on a line. I like pouring it into the cup that's finished and using weight to tell me how many ounces it holds because it's more accurate, I think,
Yeah,
than pouring it into a cup and looking at the line and guessing and all that. Yeah. So I wouldn't say mine's very fancy at all. It's pretty standard. But
yeah. Pretty
have you
standard.
ever used one of those fancy scales? I used
Um,
one in college. The ones that's got the like weights on it. I can't remember what it's called. Do you know which ones I'm talking about? It's like it got the counterbalance weights and it's
oh
got
yeah,
the
yeah, 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 yeah. That was my first scale.
it's like a super fancy. They got a specific name for it.
Yeah. So it's the God damn, I forgot. But I remember the first time I ever used it,
Triple
I
like a
thought
triple beam. Is that
a triple beam.
that's
Yes,
kind
a
of a
triple beam.
general name for it, yeah.
The first time that I used it, I uh I got like I read the kilograms. You're supposed to convert it like it basically represents a number, but yeah, and I like read the kilograms wrong or something, and I did it completely incorrectly. So, yeah, great. It was great.
Yeah.
Okay, do you use any special wire cutters for cutting up clay?
Not for the clay side of it. I do for throwing, but we just use whatever we got. Just the cheap wire cutter. I think a longer one is better for this part of it. Well, I don't know. I mean, you can get away with like a 9-inch wire as opposed to those really long. What's like the standard ones are like 13-inch or something
Yeah,
like that. I feel like it gets a little excessive, but
yeah, for sure. Um, so the ones that it took me for fucking ever to find these, but I finally had to get Lindy to send me this wire cutter from Europe.
oh, I see the one
And
you linked to here.
so it is a it's a U shape, and it's metal, and it has notches on the side, and the wire goes across, and you can bend it down, and not bend it but like kind of compress it and move the wire up and down. And what this allows is you to use the table as a constant instead of, like they have slab cutters that you go off the top of the block
Hmm.
that are garbage, garbage, because you never get a consistent slab. But if you didn't want to like roll out a slab, you could cut it just like this and they'd be consistent every single time. And what's nice about this is that you can make them even thicker. And I've cut entire blocks up, and then you don't have to weigh it. So, like, I
Mm.
used to cut them up into blocks that were like an inch by an inch, and that was like 6 ounces, right? And it's like super consistent the way that you do it that way. And So I highly recommend these ones. Also, Mud Tools has one that they just came out with. Now it is flat on the ground, like flat on the
The bottom
uh
side of it.
yeah, like the wire's flat to the table, but it's really nice for if you wanted to cut like a big block. It's really handy for that. And I can't find it on here, but
The standard one that you're probably familiar with is the carving bow, which is just a semicircle with one handle. But I think the one you're
yeah.
talking about is the Max one. It's called like the Mud Cutter Max, I think, or something like
Yeah,
that.
I found it. I found it. Mudcutter Max. And it's expensive. Now, keep in mind that these are like the one that I just told you about that's from Europe. I found it on Etsy and it's 50 bucks. And the one the Mudcutter Max is 75. So like you're not these are like expensive tools that you basically buy if you need it for a specific purpose.
Yeah, you're buying it for efficiency. You're not buying it for this is what I need to get my studio set up and efficient. Like,
Right.
you're not just getting
Like
started using these tools.
yeah, like if you had to weigh out 1,000 blocks of 6 ounces, this would be a perfect tool because you would never have to weigh it. You could just cut it to the size and
It's consistent, yeah.
it's consistent. So,
These might be good Christmas gift requests if
yeah,
you see a use for something like that.
yeah. Okay, what's your the one
My
the
second thing I put on here was cat litter buckets. I store all of my clay in cat litter buckets. So
a
those are
solid suggestion?
or just I mean any buckets you can get that are
Yeah, I
I mean
used to
you're
use
basically
5 gallon
using it for a
buckets.
damp box and you just want to keep that stuff
Yeah,
sealed so you don't have to prep the clay and throw it the same day. Some people use bags. You can use bags. I don't know how
or
long those last.
Rubbermaids or whatever. Yeah,
But yeah, something that creates a good barrier and doesn't dry them out. So
yeah.
I'm all
I
about the
like
cat litter
using
buckets, but
And I like using like buckets like that because you can stack them up and then put them right next to you and you can just reach in.
oh
You
yeah.
know, it's very good height.
hmm
So
Yeah, the
it's
Tidy
the
Cat
simple
ones I
things.
have, the lid pops open, so it's still
Yeah.
stuck on the like a third of it, but two-thirds of it props open and
Yeah.
closes really easily, so I can access the clay pretty quick.
Yeah. That's nice.
All
Hell
right, so
yeah.
that was my next one. I see you kind of got. Are we good with the clay prep? Is there anything else on
Oh, there
that
is
side
one
of
more
it?
thing for clay prep. And there's no link because you have to find it at the Dollar Tree. But
Oh, I think I might know what you're talking about.
the dough scraper
hmm
from the Dollar Tree is the best like the best investment you'll ever make for $1.25. It is,
I stole one from your studio when you were about to throw it away, I think, when you were cleaning out your indie studio. So
yeah, you probably did because I had like four. If you have
I
a
still
flat
use it.
table, yeah, if you have a flat table when you're weighing out clay, when you're doing anything like that, you just use it to scrape up things, the little bits, and it's metal. It doesn't rust because it's used for kitchen stuff. It's fantastic. A lot of
I
people
used
like
it
to
to
use.
scrape
uh,
bats.
Yeah, oh, they're great for scraping bats. And a lot of people like to use putty knives. Not my shtick. I think that
I
it
think it's more
doesn't
comfortable with.
it's more ergonomically correct to use the dough scraper in my opinion because your hands at the right
It's a little
angle.
wider too than a putty
Yeah.
knife. I mean, it depends on what kind of putty knife you got, but
Yeah, but if you use like a fucking foot long putty knife, that's your prerogative. That's not what I
hmm
use, and that's fine. Um,
yeah, I
yep.
support this. Definitely helps with reclaiming and stuff like that. I use it.
Oh yeah.
I use it quite a bit. I just keep it in my reclaim bucket for my white clay. I got one in my white clay. I got one in my speckled clay. So,
And that's a great stocking stuffer. This would be like a good episode for spouses to listen to.
or whoever supports your clay habit.
It supports the clay habit. Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else for prep.
Well, we can always come back to it if we think of it.
Yeah. Okay. We're on to throwing, which might be obviously our longest category. And keep in mind that we're talking about the tools that we use. We're not talking about the tools that everybody uses.
Yeah, we would be
So
here all day going through
yeah,
Hope's Instagram account, talking about all the tools that you could possibly use for throwing or whatever.
yeah. And
But
she's a great source for tools, obviously. Hope Limiansky.
yeah, Lemiansky Studios on Instagram.
Yeah.
If you don't know
So
who Hope is, I don't know what to tell you,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
now you know.
Everybody knows who Hope is, so
All right,
okay.
throwing. Where do you? I mean, I feel like sponges is a pretty easy start. Um,
Yeah.
you got me
Okay.
on the sponges that we're using.
Yeah.
You unfortunately said that you don't see them available right now, but
But okay, so this is what we found. So the sponges that we use are was it Hobbycraft? Is that what I said?
Creative Hobbies, I think.
Creative Hobbies. Yeah, Creative Hobbies because I like moved on to a new Amazon listing. And we found them on Amazon. They're like the ones that we used to get are 3 inches and they are like $9 for 10.
Three and a
Okay.
half inch round
Or
synthetic
three and a
sponge.
half.
So it's a puffy
Yeah.
round yellow sponge.
Now, why are these different? We don't know. I don't fucking know. But the size is nice. The sponges, when they go, but it takes a fucking while for them to
It's
go.
yeah, it's like the size of your palm. If you're looking at your, I mean, I don't know how big your hands are, but it like looking at my hand, it's basically the size of my palm when it's brand
Yeah.
new. It's so puffy, so thick, and then it hovers in the water, which is nice. You know, there's some
Yeah.
sponges out there that will hover in the bucket of water, but a lot of them will sink after you start using them.
Yeah. So as a compromise, I linked the 2.5 inch sponges, which are not as good, I assume. I've never bought them, but they're not as big and the size is what matters to us. But I mean, like, I don't know. I love a big sponge.
Uh-huh. Oh, the 2.5 inches is the diameter, or
Yeah.
the diameter. I was thinking
Circumference?
the thickness
Oh,
from
no,
top
no,
to
no, not the
bottom,
thickness. No.
but they are a little
Yeah.
thicker too, the other ones that we typically
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. So you can kind of like keep your eye on the, like, I linked you to these ones and I'm sure that you could find Creative Hobby 3.5 inch sponges if you just search that. And keep an eye out on it. But I'm sure the 2.5 sponges are just fine. A lot of it is because of the quality of the sponge too, because you can find all these sponges that just degrade immediately. And I would assume that all Creative Hobby sponges are the same quality. I don't know.
Probably, probably.
But these ones last a while.
Yeah. I mean, these are our workhorse sponges. Obviously,
Yeah.
if I'm feeling really fancy and I want to like treat myself. Hey, folks, let's take a quick break from our episode to talk about one of our sponsors. So, we're talking about tools on this episode today. L&L is more a piece of studio equipment, not necessarily a tool, but on the tool front, let's talk about what kind of tools you need to maintain your kiln. So, I just looked at my kiln. All you need is a Phillips head screwdriver if you need to take the panel off and then take out your thermocouple. That's all you need. So super easy to replace those. I've got 3 of them, so I can get those replaced very quickly, probably in less than 15 minutes. And let's say you're doing the elements as well. If you need to replace those, you can get away with that. You can either use a socket to take some of the nuts off there, or you can use a wrench. Very easy to take those off. You might need a needle nose plier, something like that, to bend the wire around a little bit or cut it. So very easy to maintain. You don't need any special crimping tools, and they think ahead on making sure that it's easy for you, whether you're a beginner and you're changing your elements or maintaining your first kiln, or if you're experienced and you're looking to do this thing efficiently so that you spend more time in the studio working. We just really appreciate L&L, all the different aspects that they think of to make sure we have easier studio maintenance and all that good stuff. So if you want to check out L&L's products, see some videos on how you maintain their equipment, maybe for your kiln as well, even if you don't have an L&L, you can check out hotkilns.com. Thanks so much, and let's get back to the episode. I'll pull
Yeah.
out that white mud tool sponge, but
Yeah.
to be honest, I got some brand new ones in there, and I'm a little tight on absorbing them in with water the first time. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, these other ones. But when these other ones go, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll pick those up. But I do love a
Yeah.
good mud tool sponge though.
Yep. I'm gonna link the blue one because that's like the most common one.
Yeah, the blue is, you definitely don't want to use the white one with a groggier clay. The white one's more
No.
of a finishing sponge for mud tools. The blue one's
Mm-hmm.
more of that workhorse throwing sponge.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely a sponge thrower. I don't throw just with my bare hands with water on them. I like the used sponges when I'm doing pulls and everything like that.
Yes. Okay. The next thing is the needle tool, and I have. You can get the
Do
shitty.
you use something that's not just a shitty one? I don't know that. I mean, I've seen like Mud
Okay.
Tools has the little flip out ones, the Mud Shark, I think. I I've just used the shitty needle tools.
So the Sim needle tools are so nice. The I don't know if they're I can't see because of the brightness. But you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah, but I'm trying
Sim.
to think. I'm looking on.
It's yellow and it's like super sturdy.
Okay, I
Those ones are
see.
really nice, but I'm gonna be completely honest. I just use the shitty one.
I mean, for the amount of time you're using it, it's so straightforward. I don't
But
know.
I will say that Andrew Krieger swears by the Sim one. He would take stock in the Sim one if he could.
Hmm.
Yeah. What about metal ribs?
I've still got a handful of the standard kidney ribs, the ones that have the kidney shape but have a little sharp edge as well. I like
I actually
those for
love that rib.
getting a little texture on it. They're pretty flexible. I mean, I'm not wearing them down that much, so they'll last as long as you don't lose them.
Yeah, it's just like the standard kidney shape rib, and if you want a cheap solution to that, you can get them on Amazon. I got like a pack of like 50 of them for like $5.
50? Oh
I
my
don't know, it
God.
was a
Were you
lot.
teaching or something?
Yeah,
Were you just leaving them
it
at
was
people's houses when you went and
no,
visited or what?
it was for workshops. It might have been like 20. Um,
Okay. Yeah,
but
I
like
mean, those are the classic. I feel like I can get away with those, but in the last couple of years, been upgrading to the Mud Tools, bigger Mud Tools ones. The 7 is a heavier duty one, and the one's more your standard kidney shape, kind of the circle one.
yeah. Yeah, like if you use the shitty ass standard one, I would just go on Amazon. But so you like the kidney, the okay, for Mud Tools ribs, the rubbery one, which one do you use one of those?
I don't really use them that much, honestly.
Okay.
I have I mean the yellow one that's the medium size one. I would say I use that one the most, but I'm not really using it for throwing or
Okay.
most
W-
things.
I have I'm gonna where we're talking about throwing mostly, but this is a two-parter. I love the Mud Tools green rib,
Hmm.
and it's a very specific shape, but I really love that one and the blue one, the firmer ones.
What
And
are you
it's
throwing with that? Are you just using it for
just to
compress?
smooth the
Like,
sides out.
okay. So instead of using a metal rib, you like to use those?
Mm-hmm. And the what is I gonna say? The essential box. It's great for smoothing out slabs.
Mm. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, if you are a fan of slab building, like hand building, it's super great for that. So I will find it and link it. But it's the number two, but it's the
Number
green
two.
one. Green number two. We used to call it the coveted green rib.
Hmm.
If you have a bat system, which Ryan doesn't, he uses speedball bats, but which we're gonna get to. But if you have a bat system, everybody like talks about bat lifters and like you can buy a fancy tool, but also I found that just using a butter knife works, like a sturdy just knife that you get out of your basic silverware set works great.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd
Yeah.
add that.
Everybody probably has an extra knife in there.
Exactly. Or you can use a flathead screwdriver. So,
When you had that at the top of the list, I was thinking you were talking about pot lifters. I didn't realize it said bat lifter.
oh,
I thought you were talking about the metal pot lifters to
uh,
do production to
I
get things
haven't
off the
used
wheel.
those in a fucking minute, but we used to use those all the time.
You were using those instead of just picking it up with you wouldn't like dry
Hands.
your hands off and everything. You would just,
No,
it's more
pot.
efficient
Oh,
to pot
no.
lift.
Pot lifts are the shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I figured out a way that you could tape on
Like
two
razor blades or something. Is that what
razor
it
blades.
was?
Yeah, two razor blades so you could get the small pots.
Right. Because they only got
Yeah.
to a certain diameter on the smallest pot lifters.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the mud tools, ribs, sponges. The I have been using those drawing rib pebbles, which is the ones that Becca gave me a few years back for getting some texture when I'm throwing. So I would, if you're looking on the ceramic shop, they're called Mud Tools drawing ribs or drawing
Yeah,
rib pebbles. The pebbles
I'll
are
see if
more standard kind of oval shape. And
I'll
then,
just link one of them and then they can kind of go from there.
yeah. So there's different textures on them that you can get. But I really like those just for adding a little texture on my mugs or oil bottles, spoon rests. Just get a little variation in the mix there.
Yeah. Um, okay. I have a recommendation for a Kemper tool, but I mean, we all know that Kemper died, so I don't know if you will be able to find it, but if you ever see it, I would recommend getting it. It's great for trimming up the base of your pots, making like a nice, clean, sharp cut.
It's a
It's
wooden tool.
it's a wooden tool, sorry. It's a wooden tool and the item number is JA17. I've used it so much that I know the item number, so um I highly recommend it. If you ever see it, I would pick it up. So there's no link for that because it's
I was gonna
dead.
say I'm looking on
I looked and
ceramic shop
it's
and
gone.
I see 19. So is it similar to the 19, but it's just a different
I
profile?
don't think so. It's one side is like an oval shape, and then the other side is like flat and then a half moon into a point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a little different than these that I see.
Yeah.
Ooh. So the undercut tool that I like to use, I like to use the Dirty Girls pottery tools,
Ooh,
wooden knives.
I found it on the bigceramicstore.com.
Mm.
So I will link that. I've never been to the big ceramic store, but there we go. Which ones do you like?
Dirty Girls pottery tools, wooden knife. So I tend to like the ones that are more they so the way they name them are for the angle that they have at the bottom. So the ones I like are 45, 45,
Oh, you already put it again.
45.
Oh, I like that one too. Yeah, that was a good
So
one.
it's a 45-degree angle, and I like the one that comes to a point, like two 45-degree angles that come to a point. So you can kind of flip it either way and use it on that
Yeah,
same side because it will kind of grind down a little bit.
yeah. And also those are great for if you're making trays on planters. Like if you
Making
have to
trays
lift
on.
the bottom
Oh,
of
right.
like if you're doing an all-in-one planter's pot with a tray, it's great for lifting the bottom of the plate.
Right.
Yeah.
So that one's a wooden knife. I'm trying to find it on their website, but I'm having trouble to see what it is. But they've got ones that are 60 degree, 90 degree, or like 60/60 means it's 60 degree on one side, 60 degree on one side. I like the 45-degree ones though. Those are my favorite. Sculpting tools,
Yeah.
that's what they are. 45, 45, 45 shaper is my favorite.
Okay.
60/30 is pretty good too. A little
Yeah.
more stubby.
Okay. Man, I feel like maybe we will get through. I don't know. We're going pretty fast.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of tools, but um I mean, have you changed a lot in these or have you just sampled a lot of different ones and you kind of settled onto these because some of it I just stick in the same lane of, the Dirty Girl tools. I got the wooden knife at different angles, and then I'm like, well, I like this one the best of all the ones I've got. So it's not like I'm not sampling like 18 different ribs, and then I'm like, all right, this is my favorite.
Yeah.
It's
No,
just,
I'm pretty autistic in that regard where I get one and that's it for life. So, so Kemper's really screwing me over right now. Um, but I bought boxes of those from Kemper years
hmm.
ago. Um, oh, I was gonna say, do you ever use a footing tool?
I do not. That's what I use the wooden knife for. But
Because
like,
sometimes I'll use a footing tool if I have to make like a beer stein and I don't want to trim the bottoms, you
mm,
know?
yeah, to get that consistency.
And I feel like Garrity Ribs makes the best footing tools.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't used, I know Dirty Girls Pottery Tools makes them too, but I haven't really had a need for them because I feel like you gotta, I get pretty rough when I undercut things. So I tend to grind those kind of tools down quicker
Yeah,
because I'm not as easy on them.
that's fair.
I tend to like dig it into the foot at like an angle so it grinds on the bat a little bit instead of just like let's just rest it on the bat and ease it in there and see what it cuts away. I'm like, no, let's just fucking go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna link the Garrity tools, their actual website, one of their footing tools, and you can kind of see what you like. Um, because I really like those if you're feeling lazy. Um, you know, or if you have to do something like that's consistent and you really don't want to trim anything.
Hmm.
Very nice. So I like Garrity tools for that. But what I will say is that Garrity tools has been making a lot of ribs that are don't have the tip, the point, and I don't like those.
Ribs that don't have a point.
Yeah,
Metal,
they're
not
like,
so they're wooden ribs that, yeah, they just not your standard rib that kind of curves and then comes to a point.
well, no, like side angle, side view. Like how it comes like to this point.
Oh, it's not beveled on both
It's
sides.
beveled. It's not beveled on both sides. It's just flat, and I don't like those. I don't
Oh.
like those.
Because those you're
Uh,
probably supposed to use kind of perpendicular to the pot instead of at an
yeah,
angle. The bevel, you tend to use it at an angle.
yeah, and angle. So that's my take on that. But yep, yep, yep.
Hmm.
All
You
right,
mentioned the
what's
bat system. You
next?
don't really have a bat system that you use these days.
Anymore. Yeah.
Okay. You tend to throw on one bat and take pieces off, right?
I used to do it like that. I've been doing multiple bats. I've got a bunch of uh I've been using speedball bats and I don't hate them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say that I love them. Only for this specific reason is because sometimes when you pick it up, it bends and it warps my pot.
Like getting it because your bat pins are tight with them
Yeah.
to get
Like
them out.
I've found that I have to I I have to you have to like kind of I don't know, like put it like before you put the bat on, you have to put it on the bat pin and kind of like move it around a little bit so that it loosens up, you know?
Yeah. I think my bat pins are worn down a bit so that it's got
Oh
enough
yeah.
snug on one side so it's not super tight everywhere. And then I can get them on and off pretty easily.
Yeah. But I also make things with a lot thinner rims than you do, so it's like way more important for my stuff not to warp when it comes
Hmm.
off. So that's my only like complaint. Um, but I do like using them. Like
Hmm.
they're a good size. They're a great size, especially the
Yeah,
square ones.
yeah, I mostly like the square ones for the most part. The they fit nicely under my wheel too because I got a little bit
Yeah.
a little stool and I can sit two stacks of the square ones next to one another and I can fit like
Yeah.
35 bats underneath my wheel just chilling right there. So if I'm throwing
Yeah.
production spoon rests, I can throw one, set it aside, grab the next one from under the wheel, set it up top and
Yeah.
keep
I think that
moving.
if yeah, okay, so if I had money and I wanted to buy a bat system, I would buy Hartley Noble. If I didn't have money and I wanted to buy a bat system, I would buy Blue Bucket Tools bat system. So that uses tiles and they have like linked to like the classic
Yeah,
tiles that you can
ceramic
use.
tiles.
I personally loathe throwing on ceramic tiles. Um
Yeah, I'm
because
not that big of a fan.
because first of all they don't bend. Second of all, when they are at leather hard, good fucking luck getting them off. They either have to dry all the way or you cut them off when they're wet. There is no taking them off when they're leather hard.
Yeah. You gotta
Yeah.
build some patience or
But
be a habitual cutter, cut off when it's. I've always cut when I throw on every single thing. No matter what I'm throwing on, I always cut it off when I
yeah.
throw. I mean, if I was using something like a hydro bat or something, I wouldn't do that. But
Yeah. But I will say that if you get the Blue Bucket Tools bat like frame, you could make your own bats out of double-sided masonite to fit, and that would be
hmm
great. Yeah. Because
yeah,
that is essentially what I've has been my bat system for years, you know.
right. Like a plastic bat, basically, is what it was.
Yeah. So that's what I will say about that. Oh, along with that, I use a Batmate and
On
have
any
been
underneath anything that you're throwing.
not anything. Okay, I will say that with the speedball bats, I don't have to use Batmate, but when I was using a bat system, always a Batmate.
Yeah. Because you need that extra grip. So just in case it doesn't fit perfect, it can
Mm-hmm.
move a little bit and won't throw you off.
Yep.
Yeah, I will put it on. I don't use it very often, but if I'm throwing some bowl forms on bats that I get a little rough with my poles, because some pieces, if you're pulling them and they tend to be taller than they are wide,
Mm-hmm.
it can pop your bat off. So the bat mate tends to hold things a little snug, but that's tends to be when I use it. I don't traditionally use it that often, and I didn't start using it until I think Erica got one in the studio 6 months ago or 9 months ago, and I
Yeah.
started trying it out, but it wasn't, I wouldn't say I've used it a ton.
Yeah.
And then when I'm throwing production items that I'm taking off the wheel every time, I throw with a 14-inch speedball bat. So it just stays on there nice.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm not worried about, like a masonite or something like that where it would absorb water. Like I don't want to throw with something like that that could warp because I'm throwing so much on it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to just leave the bat on there, so I throw in a 14-inch, covers the whole wheel head, and then it's wide enough that as I'm pulling, even if it's something big, it's stable and it's not gonna like pop the bat off as I'm throwing.
Yeah.
I mean, usually I'm
I
throwing like mugs or oil bottles on there, so it's not. getting anywhere near enough to pull the bat off. But
If I'm throwing production and I'm like cutting off and moving pieces instead of like doing a um off the hump, I'm using a plasti bat. And I'll tell you why. I tried speedball bats. And the reason that I won't use a speedball bat for that specifically, if I'm throwing like 100 things, is because speedball bats are not perfectly flat. They have these like weird, like little ridges that no one would probably notice. But when you throw 100 things, you notice. And I couldn't do it with my sensory stuff. I just couldn't do it. So I had to like switch to a plasti bat that was
like you could
completely
feel
smooth.
it when you were centering or something. As
Yeah,
it's
like my
spinning, you could feel it.
Yeah, there's like just the slightest wave of
Okay. I was gonna
grooves.
say, because if you cut it off and you take the pot
No, no, no,
off, you
no,
can't
no.
notice it there. But if you let the pot pop off, you would notice the little ridges.
There's not ridges though. It's not ridges. What
It's
I'm
like
saying is,
it's like a grid system on the bottom side of the bat that you see on the top
yeah, but
potentially.
this
Is
is
that what you're
like
talking
a
about?
no, it's the circular one, and it like I don't know how to describe it. It's
Oh, you're
just
talking. There's a circular. I thought you meant the grid that the underside of the bat has a grid on
no.
it, and that's what
I
you
mean
could kind
like
of get
you
get
can
a
kind
like
of well in the
essence of.
on the circular bats there's still kind of a grid, but it's like a pie shaped grid, and that's what it's coming from. Yeah.
Mm,
And it's
okay.
like I'm telling you, it's so slight. It is so slight.
She's
And
nitpicking a lot here.
yeah, like this is like the pickiest thing I've ever said. Maybe. Probably not. But it's so slight. And that's why if I'm throwing a consistent thing, it has to be a plastic bat. And the
Okay.
smooth side of a plastic bat, the upside down, I guess. I don't know why they have a fucking rough side and a smooth side. What the fuck is that?
Are
I
those
don't get
sticking
it.
in there pretty good? Because they've got the bat holes are not always perfect on the plastic bats, right?
Yeah, they stick good, but I also use a bat made with that. So,
Right, that'll help.
hmm
Not doing the little rock, 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 rock sound.
yeah.
Okay. Those are the
Okay.
bats, Batmate, scoring tools.
Oh, scoring tools. Talk about your scoring tool.
Oh, mine is the ZM retractable one. So I think it's still got five or let's see, was it 5 or 6 lines in it? It's hard to see on here. One, two, three. It's got six. So it's the one that kind of opens and closes. It kind of looks like a flash drive. And I use that for all my slipping and scoring handles. That's pretty much all I'm tend to use. Well, yeah, I don't use it for my garlic graters anymore. But yeah, that's what I use it mostly for. What's yours? Let me look up what yours is here.
Mine is 5 lines.
Oh, Chinese clay art. I used to use that one.
I like that one. But
That's pretty
also
classic.
I
Yeah, it
can
lasts a long
mark
time.
my pots with it. So it's just like the cheaper version.
Right.
Um,
I'm
yeah.
paying for an extra metal line and it retracts. So
Yeah.
yeah, that one's classic. I think that's what I got in my one of my bins or something. I don't know. One of my first batches of tools. That one's great.
Yeah. It's a classic. I don't know. I just like that one and it's just easy.
Hmm.
So, okay, I am finding my favorite trimming tool from Dolan that sold out. So, I'm will we ever be able to get Dolan tools ever again?
I think Dolan tools are still a thing. You're talking about Kemper tools?
No, I'm talking about Dolan because everything on their website sold out.
Oh, well, they
Uh,
do Inseca and stuff.
I guess they're in the ceramic shop, but I couldn't find them on the ceramic shop. Oh wait,
Yeah,
maybe
I
that's
see
the
him at
ceramic store.
I saw him at Inseca this past year in Salt Lake, or yeah, earlier this year. I was considering getting a tool, but I gotta trimming tool from Shi Chin Tools, I think. I got one of the like
Oh,
fancy trimming tools,
I didn't know you got one of those. That's what I have too.
but I haven't quite got the hang of it. From what I understand, you've got to trim it a lot firmer rather
Yeah.
than
It
leather
needs to
hard.
be, yeah, it needs to be like right past leather hard
And I'm
because it
not
chatters if
typically a
it's
fan
not.
of that. So,
Yeah. Um, there's a lot of people now that are making the silicon carbide trimming tools.
or
There's
the
one that's,
tungsten carbide?
that's what I meant, tungsten carbide. And there's one that's RD tools, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's like RD Pottery Tools or something like that. I found them on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, we're not going to get into politics here, but there's a lot of people that like won't buy from certain people because blah 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 blah, and because Bison tools I don't know. And but you can't even buy Bison tools anymore, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, I'm gonna link Hinshwin Shin. I don't know how to say his name. Shin Shuen Lin. That's what it is.
I don't- He's I'm trying to think what it his I'm trying to think his.
I already got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sin Chin Lin. I think that yeah. He has he has a YouTube page and he has a lot of videos and things. You probably know who we're talking about,
Yeah.
but that's the trimming tool that I actually got was from him.
Hello. So I'm interrupting because we have our third ad of the night or day or morning, whenever you're listening. Anyway, we're doing tools, and I actually purposely didn't mention these two tools because that I use in my studio because I knew that I was going to be doing this ad, and I wanted to mention the Speedball Boss Base and the new Boss Ribs that are coming out. And the Boss Ribs are really cool. I actually used them with a couple kids the other day, and they were really helpful with teaching them how to center and kind of like just getting their strength down. And it was awesome. So I definitely recommend looking into those. They're actually going to be like launching them exclusively at Clay King in late September, and so we will definitely let you know when that's going to happen. Also, make sure you follow Clay King and Speedball so that you can kind of see um, all the posts that they're going to be doing about that, and then you can kind of stay in the loop. You can they're they're honestly just great. I saw an actual sample from the manufacturer, and they are so smooth, so beautiful. They have like the nice people logo. They look really nice. The next thing that I wanted to quickly say is that I have been using the Boss Base in the studio, especially for bigger pieces that I want to have like a really flat base, and it's been really great. I was really surprised at how well it handled something larger. I'll be honest, I'm still getting used to using it for something smaller, but the larger one really worked out quite well. And especially for somebody that like doesn't have the hand strength to pull something, maybe like 2 or 3 pounds of clay out, it's really nice. So, you should definitely look at those. They're fantastic. They sell them on Clay King, Ceramic Shop. I think they sell them everywhere. So check those out. They also have really fun colors. They have pink and purple and like blue, green, all the things. So, yes, check those out. And also check out speedballart.com. SPEEDBALL, Speedball. All right, back to the episode. Yeah, so the deal with tungsten carbide is that you have to trim it almost dry, or else it just doesn't fucking work. It's like, I mean, I'm sure there's people that can trim it super wet, but we're not as good as them. So, and it's like got a very specific angle that you have to trim it with. But when I trim wet, I like to use Dolan tools. But I don't know if like Dolan has very much in, you know, in stock. I put their website and they have where they sell, and I put the one that I like the most. But um, have you tried those Tortuga tools?
I have not.
I
I
kind of
think a
want to try
lot.
those.
Yeah, I know Hope's tried them out, and I think Sephora is actually gonna supply them in her new shop. I think I
Yeah,
saw them at Insika. They might be the ones you can
they
you
have tungsten
unscrew
carbide.
them?
They have tungsten carbide ones now. Are
Oh,
they all
really?
tungsten carbide?
Um, I don't
No,
know.
I don't think they are. Oh, they have a hook. Oh,
I mean, I think they are mostly tungsten carbide, it looks like. Well, I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
I
They're
mean, they got
$75.
they got cool colors. I'm pretty sure they're all tungsten carbide.
Yeah, they probably are. Yeah,
If
they do
they're
have
all
cool
75
colors.
bucks, and then there's $85 ones. But they're pretty cool because you can unscrew the top and you can swap the grips or you can
Mm-hmm.
replace the tip that way without buying a whole new tool.
I kind of want to try that dome trimming tool that's shape, you know. The 7 one looks nice too. I wish they had a square one. Like I like the diamond one from uh the diamond one from Dolan. That's what I linked. But yeah, they look very interesting and I kind of want to try them, but the thing about
I
tungsten carbide is when you have one, you don't need anything else.
Right.
So it's like once you bought it, you're like, okay, great.
But I suspect you would probably tend to use that more with certain clays. Not that it's going to
Yeah,
wear down, but you have a clay body that you tend to like the production of trimming on that
yeah.
body with that kind of a tool because, obviously I'm not trimming it at the right stage to use it, so I've not used it as much as I probably would have liked to, but I like to trim my stuff at leather hard, and if I'm trimming my groggy clay at leather hard with most trimming tools, like a Kemper tool or Diamond Core tools, they will wear down.
Mm-hmm.
And but I like that stage. So for me, I I don't want to wait to get to that later stage and use a fancier tool just because it doesn't work with my workflow as much.
Yeah.
But, I tend to, for the most part, I mean that classic Kemper tool, the wider one, I like that one a lot. The kind of standard, I think it's like a 1 inch. It's a triangle on one side and it's a loop on the other side. I feel like that's
Mm-hmm.
your classic Kemper trimming tool, and that one is amazing. It's still, I'll still pick that one up. I've actually got
The
a new one
reason
recently, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna hold on to this bad boy.
the reason I don't like that one is because it doesn't have any sharp edge,
Hmm.
like sharp angle that I can't, you know. I
Yeah,
like
I'm mainly trimming, just softening the bottom edge of a bowl or a berry bowl. I mean, I do have some sharper cuts on a berry bowl, but pretty much just those bowls or sponge holders. I'm just trying to round the edge. I'm not trying to trim an inner foot or anything. So those are
yeah.
my workhorse trimming tools. But I do really like the Diamond Core ones for trimming as well. If it's the white clay, it doesn't have any grog in it and it tends to grip a little bit more. So I'd much rather use the Kemper ones for that. But if I'm doing my speckle clay, I really like the s- the clean cuts of the Diamond Core ones.
Yeah. The
And they
diamond
got
core
all
ones are
shapes.
good.
They got all different shapes, but they will wear down. But it's easy to swap those tops as well, the actual blades. Make them easy
Do
to
you want
change those out.
to Do you want to link those?
Yes, I can link those.
Okay. Also, we don't want to jump too much around, but Ryan and I have a different opinion on the foam baths that we use for trimming.
I actually didn't
And
see yours, so let me look at the one you're talking about.
so
Oh,
his
I
is
see.
the Sim Tools foam bat, also known as Zium for all of those that haven't asked the owner how you actually pronounce it. Um, because that's who we had to go to. Um, and the Sim foam bat is like
Yeah,
an inch of foam, and the Studio Pro foam bat is like a quarter inch of foam.
yeah. That quarter inch looks like the thickness of the little foam that you get in your cone packs is kind of
Yes,
the thickness it looks like.
very similar. What I like about it is that it doesn't hold a shit ton of dust. Because if you trim dry at all, the Sim foam bat like just fucking cakes it in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just I don't think you need a lot of foam. That's just my thing. I like a thin foam. I will use the thick foam for doing pinch pots because you can push it down a little bit harder and it creates a groove and then they just sit in there, but I prefer the thinner foam. It's more
And
expensive.
yeah, 28 bucks versus 12 bucks.
Yeah, but the Sim one you have to buy a bat to put it on. So you have to add
Yeah,
in the
you got to
cost of the
stick it.
bat,
Yeah, you got to stick it on a bat.
which
I've actually
um
seen I've actually seen Heidi use that for her her slipcast stuff. Have you seen her do that? She
mhm.
puts water on it and then she kind of softens
Yep.
her lips and everything
Yep.
of a whole of a
Yeah.
slipcast piece. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
using it like a sponge. Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, Next thing is the Giffen grip, which we both use, right?
Well, I don't actually own one. Erica owns it and uses it just for sanding. I don't actually trim anything with the Giffen grip.
Yeah.
I just use the foam pads.
I use it for trimming, and I have the mini, and I think that most people would agree that the mini is better than the big one. Um,
What's
Mostly
the
because
main difference?
it fits on bat pins as opposed to fitting over the wheel head. And I mean there's some downfalls to it for sure. Like it's not as sturdy, you know? Like
Hmm.
the little hands aren't as sturdy, but it's not as tall, which is nice, so that your trimmings actually go into a fucking splash pan. Um,
Right. Yeah, because I mean, it seemed like the old ones or the traditional one that goes over the whole wheel is like, how do you control the trimmings at all?
yeah. It
Especially
has
if
a
you don't
lock.
have a bigger splash pan like a Brent or something like that, or a Scut. Maybe if you have the Scut tray, the whole tray is your
Yeah,
splash pan.
or a piece of cardboard. It has a lock on it, which is not nice in my opinion, but it's fine. I think some people use it. Um,
Oh, that's what the little tab is on the top, the little blue tab at the
yeah, it's
edge.
a lock
Okay.
because sometimes the bigger one would kind of like get loose, and so this prevents that from happening. But I mean, the Give and Grip, in my opinion, is a tool that you love to hate. You know, it's not perfect, but they haven't found anything else better.
I mean, we were talking about a long time ago. How has there not been any improvements to the original one in so many years? But
Yeah,
maybe it's
and then they
so
made the mini.
specific that,
Yeah,
like, how do you not knock that off? I mean, there are some knockoff ones that I've seen. I think Erica got a knockoff one at one point from somebody that was selling her the wheel, but
yeah,
it's not as good. So,
yeah. It's just like I don't. It's a conundrum. It's a conundrum in the pottery world that I will never understand. Like, I remember I had a friend that was in woodworking and he was like, "What the fuck?" Like, remember Bear? He
Hmm.
was like, there's so many things that hold pieces of wood onto like a lathe, and they can't figure out one good solution for pottery. Like,
Hmm.
so,
Right.
and I
It's
mean, like, yeah, you
not
could have a chuck, you can make a chuck, but
right. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that trim with just a wet chuck or a, leather hard chuck, and they just pop their pot on top of that, and you know, that's got to be customized to your own, or little, yeah, there's still a chuck, but it's like a little dome shape. So I kind of set it on top
mm-hmm,
of that instead of inside of something.
I know. Ugh, fuck. I just feel like trimming is like the pitfall of ceramics. It's like, oh, let's make more tools, but let's not actually make anything that helps you like center it better and oh, and then,
I mean, back before I was using the foam pad, I didn't use the clay lugs, but I would wet the rim and then stick it to the bat after I centered it. So I kind
yeah.
of just suction cupped it down, and I
Yeah.
didn't typically use anything to hold it.
See, okay, but why isn't there a bat system that creates a suction with air pressure? Like that it could like go through, I don't know.
I
There's
mean, you'd
gotta
have to have something that goes up the middle of the wheel that doesn't get caught in the spin of the wheel, right? So it'd have to like be part of the wheel assembly.
not necessarily you could make it so that it is like the top of the it spins with the wheel and then the other part is under it and it like shoots off to the side.
How would it create suction though?
A vacuum?
I know, but where's the air? The air's got to suction down, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't have all the answers, but I don't understand why it hasn't been made.
sounds like it would have to be a nice collaboration with the wheel manufacturer to make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And most wheels aren't fully sealed either. They've got the lines and the those brakes to
Yeah.
not have it fully flat. Which why aren't wheels just flat? Why do they have to have the grooves in them?
The grooves are so that you could center things
I know, but you don't really need that. Do people actually look at the lines on the wheel to tell if it's centered or not?
when you're trimming.
Yeah, but like
Yes, people
there's
do.
there's no better way than having the lines there.
There's fucking lines on the ZM foam bat, Ryan.
I know, but they're all wore off on mine. I don't use them.
Yeah, because you're not new.
Okay, so it's more about spinning the thing and knowing that it's centered by the lines on it rather than
Yeah.
just looking at it and telling if it looks off center or not.
Yes.
Okay. It just feels like an antiquated thing that has continued that doesn't necessarily serve the purpose for most
Well,
people that use it.
it definitely doesn't serve a purpose anymore because everybody just puts a bat over the wheel head. But, you know,
Hmm. Maybe there's an ease in manufacturing to have the lines in there too. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe for like checking. I wonder if we should kind of like close off because it's 7:25 and then we can do painting, decoration, glazing, and sanding.
Oh yeah, those all kind of fit together.
Yeah, in a much shorter episode, but still good. Maybe not shorter. You never know. Um, do we have oh, talk about your Mud Tools yellow rib for burnishing.
Oh yeah. So that's the main time that I'm using the mud tools yellow. So I mentioned just softening the edges of a small bowl or a pasta bowl, cereal bowl, soup bowl, stuff like that. So that's when I will use my yellow sponge just to, because I tend to just cut it off flat, and everything I throw for the most part that gets trimmed is flat, except the berry bowl maybe,
Mm-hmm.
or a serving bowl. So I pretty much always like to use that yellow rib to just burnish it a little bit and keep it nice and clean. So it's one less step I mean, I'm gonna sand it anyways after it's fully finished, but at least it'll soften it a little bit when it's gonna get to the glazing step and all that.
Yeah. I have one more thing.
We kind of talked about the wires, but did you talk about what you used to
Oh, we
cut
forgot.
off like on the wheels and stuff?
We didn't talk about that.
I mean, we skipped them a couple other things too for speedball tools, but we'll
Oh,
have to
yeah,
put
we
those
did.
in later probably.
Oh, yeah, because we didn't even do any of the ads.
I know.
Can you add that to the thing?
Yes. Yes.
Thanks. Um, okay, really quick. I like to use the Dirty Girls 7-inch ergonomic thin wire. What about you?
Ooh, yeah. Same, except when I'm throwing with my, I will use they have three different, it's thin, max, and fat, like pH fat. I like to use the
Mm-hmm.
max wire for most stuff. I like the thin ones, but I've broken them over time just because they're thinner, so they have less, especially if I'm using my groggy clay. I like to use the max ones because they're threaded. It's
Yeah,
actually twisted or whatever, and it's got more oomph to it than the thin one. But the thin one is really nice. I will use the thin one a lot if I could, but I've broken a couple over time. So the
yeah,
7-inch one is great, but I'll use the 9-inch here and there. But anything, I don't really like any of the wire cutters that are wider than that. They tend to be too much for the wheel head, unless I'm making a plate, which is not very often, and then I got to use a thicker one. But
yeah, for sure. Okay, I marked the ones that we missed so we can go back and talk about those at the beginning,
okay.
just with a little marky mark.
I mean, we're probably going to talk about them in the ad, though, won't we?
Yeah, but we missed I have a thing for off the hump, and you also have something for
Oh,
cutting off the hump.
yes. Yeah.
So,
Okay. I
I
knew we'd
think we
miss
should
a
add
couple.
that. Mm-hmm. This list is going to be so fucking long.
It's very
Uh,
long.
but it's very informative. I feel like we're doing good work,
Yeah.
doing God's work. We're doing God's work.
You mentioned, oh, okay. So this one at the bottom of trimming, you're going to mention that next time,
Yeah,
even though we kind of book in today with trimming.
yeah, but that's fine. Everybody knows we were going to miss a few. So,
Okay.
yep.
All
Wow,
right.
wow, wow.
In-depth tools.
Now, I feel like we should bookend this with saying, if you like what you're using, use what you're using. Don't go buy stupid tools just for the hell of it.
Yeah. I mean, we've settled into what we like and what we have found success with. It doesn't mean that there's not something that's more efficient or better out there that we could find and stumble upon,
Right.
and it's going to change our lives, but it's not like I'm saving myself half of the throwing time because I found a new tool or something.
Yeah,
But if it makes it easier on you for longevity of being able to throw hundreds of pots a year or thousands of pots or whatever, those are the kind of tools that you're gonna appreciate for the long term.
for sure.
And we
Cool.
mentioned the ceramic shop a lot on here. They're not sponsoring this episode, but we have a coupon code. So if you want to use Wheel Talk 10 on the ceramic shop, you can save $10 on an order of $75 or more.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have that list on our website with all of these tools on there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like an after the fact.
I mean,
It was
it
like
just
it
made sense. We're doing
just
tools,
made
so I
sense.
mean,
Just made sense. Okay,
yeah.
the library is closing in 30 minutes. They just came over the intercom.
All right. Well, thank you, Becca. I'm glad your computer lasted long enough.
It's at 26%. The reason it was
Oh,
going so low was because I was charging my phone and I forgot. Anyway,
okay. That's pretty good.
yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Hopefully, you enjoyed that. Hopefully, you learned about some new tools or, made you think, oh, maybe I'll go try that one again. So we'll catch you next time and we'll talk about some more tools.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Bye.
listening. Bye. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to another episode of Wheel Talk. This podcast is made possible through the contributions of all of our listeners who always ask us great questions, leave us reviews, and contact with us through social media. Thanks to all the fellow makers as well who take time to be interviewed and share about their lives and businesses.
And thank you to Ashley from Boldover Ceramics and Lindy from Lindy Garner Ceramics for their assistance on the Whale Talk Podcast Instagram. You are invaluable. Thank you to everybody.